What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode, and make that a postseason episode of the Football Corner Podcast. I'm your host, Jeremiah Queen. And if you don't already, hit that subscribe button on YouTube, follow the YouTube channel, click that notification bell so you can stay up to date with new videos when they drop. Also, if you listen to me on a podcast app like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or even Spotify, go follow the podcast. And as always, let's cue it up. All right, let's jump right into it. So the divisional round of the 2022 NFL season is in the books. We had Bengals, Bills, Chiefs, Jaguars from the AFC side of things. And then on the NFC side of things, we had Eagles, Giants, and Cowboys, 49ers. So let's start with the AFC side of things. Let's go ahead and talk about Bengals, Bills in a game that everybody thought was going to be electric. It's a matchup that we didn't really get to witness because of the incident that happened with Damar Hamlin on Monday Night Football. So this is the first time we actually get to see a full game between Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, quarterbacks that are considered the number 2 quarterback and the number 3 quarterback in the NFL right now. And I think all answers were settled right then and there. Joe Burrow might be the best quarterback in the NFL. Of course, he doesn't have the accolades. This is why you can't put him ahead of Pat Mahomes, because Pat Mahomes has the MVP, 2-time first-team All-Pro. He's going to be another MVP this year. Let's just put it, let's just say that right now. He's going to be a 2-time MVP and a Super Bowl MVP. So you can't put him ahead of Pat Mahomes, even though Joe Burrow is undefeated against Pat Mahomes. He has beaten Pat Mahomes 3 times. And people will be like, well, did he beat him in the postseason? He did. Beat him in Kansas City. He beat him in the biggest game in the AFC, which is the AFC Championship game. And he did that while coming off of an injury the previous season. Also doing that when this guy has been sacked 70 times. You talk about he got sacked 9 times in the divisional round in 2021. But let's backtrack a little bit. Let's kind of recap what happens between the Bengals and Bills. This game, I had the Cincinnati Bengals win this game. I only picked the Cincinnati Bengals because I thought the turnover bug by Josh Allen would come into play. And Joe Burrow tends to take care of the football, and he's very accurate. All he did was just lead the league in completion percentage. He's Drew Brees-esque. People consider him a Tom Brady comp, and I wouldn't doubt that. Tom Brady has in terms of being a starter, Tom Brady has, since being a starter, 21 years in the league that he's played a full season, he has been in 14 AFC championship games. Okay, backtrack. He has been in 14 championship games, 13 being on the AFC side of things, 1 championship game being on the NFC side of things. Joe Burrow is the same thing. And 3 years as a starter, first season as a rookie, he got injured, and then kablam. Back-to-back years, AFC championship game. This is the AFC rematch from last year. This game, Joe Burrow took command from the start, throwing 2 touchdown passes to put this team up 14-0. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills just look unorganized, didn't make adjustments. They were get a touchdown, but it felt like the game's like the score was 27-10, but it felt like the game was that close. I feel like it was more like 35-10. I just felt like the Bengals were just a better team, the team that was coached better. And we have to put this out there. If you look at teams that are actually dominating the league right now, look at 4 teams left: Eagles, Niners, Chiefs, Bengals. One thing all those teams have in common, they have a offensive guru or offensive guy at head coach. Sorry, Sean McDermott. Sorry, Bill Belichick. And I love me some Mike Tomlin. But unfortunately, this is an offensive game. Defense wins championships, but offensive coaches win Super Bowls. And people are like, well, Mike Tomlin has a Super Bowl, and he played in 2. Bill Belichick has 6 rings as a Super Bowl head coach. That may be true, but that's the old regime. That's the old regime. If you look at the last, 4 years, who's winning Super Bowls? I remember Andy Reid won 1. I remember Sean McVay won 1, right? These are the guys, Bruce Arians, when he was the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, these are the guys that are winning Super Bowls. Joe Burrow is officially better than Josh Allen. In a discussion, any doubts you had, and my biggest issue, going back 2 years. I never seen a guy who gets so much compliments for losing a game. Oh, Josh Allen played really good in the AFC Divisional round against the Chiefs. He was 13 seconds away from going to the AFC Championship game, but he didn't. You don't get praise for losing. Oh, well, it wasn't his fault. He never got to touch the ball again. A lot of quarterbacks will get to touch the ball again. I asked anybody who lost against the Super Bowl against Tom Brady when he went on a game-winning drive. You think it's their fault that they lost the game? No. Tom Brady was on the field. But guess what? That's how the game is played. You want to make sure there is no time left on the clock. You want to make sure that your team is in a position to win. Because that AFC divisional round, you can give him an excuse. He put up 30-plus points, and his team had a lead when he came off the field. But can we talk about the year before that, when he was in the AFC Championship game and he got shellacked by the Kansas City Chiefs? Or can we talk about this past weekend when Josh Allen got shellacked by Joe Burrow? See, I'm seeing a trend here. People want Josh Allen because he's the chosen one. They want him to win so bad, they're already praising the guy, and he's already a Super Bowl winner before he even gets there. Okay? Josh Allen, he has won wild card games. You know who else won wild card games? Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles been in the AFC Championship game? He has. Blake Bortles has won 2 games. He has 2 playoff wins underneath his resume. You know who else with games that people always talk about? Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's been to the divisional round. I mean, Kirk Cousins has won a playoff game. Winning playoff games is just not enough. You have to get to a Super Bowl. And I think Josh Allen got all the praise he has gotten in the past 3 years. It's unfair for all the quarterbacks who have been better than him. We already know Pat Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. But officially, Joe Burrow is the second best quarterback in the AFC. And if he wins this Sunday, I wouldn't be surprised if people call him the best quarterback in the league. Now let's transition into the second matchup that hurts my heart so much because I'm a big Jags fan and we had a chance to beat the Chiefs, and Pat Mahomes had an ankle injury and he came back, and the Chiefs are just really good. Doug Peterson, the Jacksonville Jaguars, had opportunities to win the game, but unfortunately, fumble, drop passes, drop interceptions. That's how you lose ball games. We lost the turnover battle. The Jags did. And I don't even want to talk about the Jags right now because we could do that in the offseason. Let's talk about the team that won the game. That's the Chiefs. The Chiefs are going through their first straight AFC Championship game, and they deserve it. They deserve it because guess what? Pat Mahomes is 100% when he's a starter going to a championship game. That's the highest in NFL history, if you didn't know that. 5 years as a starter, 6 years in the league, 5 AFC Championship game appearances. And if you want to make the argument about Josh Allen never had opportunities when I was saying earlier, Pat Mahomes, first AFC Championship game, didn't get to touch the ball in overtime. Did we make excuses for him? No. People just said, oh, Brady did Brady. Brady goes on to win the Super Bowl against the Rams. Okay, we talk about when he lost the Super Bowl. Did we make excuses for him when his offensive line was looking like Frankenstein? Just a bunch of different body parts sewn together to make an offensive line? Did we make excuses for him? No, we didn't make excuses for Pat Mahomes because it was Brady. Brady won the game. Brady did that. Even though Pat Mahomes was fighting an uphill battle. Okay? That is what it is. Pat Mahomes is a really good quarterback, but we don't make excuses for when he failed. This is why when you fail, don't make excuses. Don't make excuses for the people who fail. If they didn't do their job, they didn't do their job. They'll give people extra praise when they haven't deserved it. The Chiefs will be playing the Bengals in the AFC Championship game, a rematch of the 2021 AFC Championship game, and I still think the Bengals playing a hobble Mahomes and Joe Burrow just being an assassin at the quarterback position, I think the Bengals will win this game and go back to the Super Bowl, and who knows who they will play. Okay, guys, let's make this quick. Let's talk about the NFC side of things in the playoff picture and what happened in divisional round weekend of the playoffs. It's pretty simple. Eagles are the best team in the NFC. They put the beat down on a Giants team that was inferior, and it showed. The competition wasn't even close. I don't think the Giants even belong there. Now, it's actually a good thing that the Giants did probably lose, because now you can evaluate Daniel Jones and what you could do going forward. But the Eagles were just the best team. Anybody who had doubts about the Eagles not being a good team, you're wrong. They're back. They'll be hosting a NFC Championship game. Now let's go to the Cowboys and Niners. Niners did what they had to do. Great, tremendous defense. The number one defense showed up, held the Cowboys team with that person being a starter scoring 30-plus points to only 12. And that says something about this defense. This defense will be put to the test on Sunday when they have to play the Eagles, an Eagles team that actually could put pressure on you on both sides of the football. They could run the football down your throat. We'll see if that number one rush defense shows up for the 49ers. And also, Jalen Hurts could be assassin in the passing game because he has three weapons in the Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. And also, he has Miles Sanders in the backfield. So better look out, 49ers. Your defense has to come to play because Brock Purdy will be harassed. Let me put a little stat here for y'all guys. The Eagles' defense had 70 sacks this regular season. 70. Think about that. 4 guys on their roster on defense had 10-plus sacks. So at minimum, you talk about 40 sacks came from 4 guys. Minimum. And we know those guys have more than 10 apiece. But it's incredible that the rotation is so good. And kudos to Harry Roseman. I think he needs to get a lot of credit for what he has, how he has assembled his roster. And also, the Eagles have the number 10 pick in the draft because of the Saints. So this team is probably going to be in the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl game, and you're still going to have a top 10 pick. Which, if I was them, why not go get another pass rusher? Get the best linebacker in the draft. I would do it. Because having a rotation of good pass rushers, as the Eagles have shown, can't be beat. Now, if I'm the 49ers, Brock Purdy, this is your time to shine. You're no longer Mr. Irrelevant. I'm tired of everybody saying that. They say, oh, Dak Prescott got outplayed by a 7-round pick. For me, what pick they are in the draft sometimes doesn't even matter. Because as we have seen, undrafted guys have been Pro Bowlers. Hall of Famers. So saying that he's Mr. Irrelevant, that's cute. Dak Prescott was also a 4th-round pick, and Dak Prescott has been to 2 Pro Bowls and has won 2 playoff games. Now, Dak Prescott has regressed into being, I thought he was like an A- quarterback. Now he's like a B, just because he has turned the ball over way more than he needs to. Got to take care of the football. What he did in his first few seasons was take care of the football, and it helped them win games. They're still winning games in the regular season, but you can't turn the ball over in the postseason. Now back to Purdy. Purdy has to be pretty good. Yes, I said it. Has to be pretty good in order to beat the Eagles. The Eagles have always been the number 1 team in the league, in my opinion, based off what they have done. I know Jalen Hurts getting his shoulder banged up and them losing to the Commanders, and then Gardner Minshew came in there and couldn't beat the Cowboys, et cetera, et cetera. And then in Week 18, he didn't look good against the Giants. And Jalen Hurts had to remind you, I was an MVP frontrunner. If I didn't get hurt, I might have won the MVP over Pat Mahomes. But we know Pat Mahomes is going to win the MVP. So it's going to be Eagles, Niners, 2 good defenses, 2 good offensive play callers in Kyle Shanahan and Nick Sirianni. And Kyle Shanahan needs to be Coach of the Year. I know I wanted my coach, Doug Peterson, to be Coach of the Year. I also wanted Brian Daboll to be in that discussion. But what Kyle Shanahan has done, when you're on your 3rd-string quarterback, I know Doug Peterson, when he was 2017, he won the Super Bowl with the backup quarterback. But he didn't have to go through that in the back half of the season using the backup quarterback. And not a 3rd-string rookie. There's not many rookies that played in a championship game. Ben Roethlisberger has done it. Sean King, back when he was with the Buccaneers, has done it. There's not that many guys who has had the opportunity of playing in a championship game as a rookie. Kudos to the Niners. Kudos to the GM for scouting out players to get the job done. And Kyle Shanahan needs more praise for what he has done to put this quarterback in the best position to succeed. We got Niners-Eagles on Sunday. Who will advance to the Super Bowl? Can't wait to find out. Thank you for watching and listening to me on Football Corner Podcast. Podcast episodes will be dropped on Mondays and Fridays, as well as YouTube videos on Mondays and Fridays. If you like what you see on the podcast, hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell so you can stay up to date when new videos drop. Also, if you want to follow me more and further on social media, my social media links are in the About page on my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching. See you next time.